I don't actually know. Do you like my new shoes?
They're awesome. Those are good socks as well. Can you make sure the socks are on camera as well?
Ow!
Are you watching anime? We're here with Aurora. How are you, Aurora?
I'm very good.
Aurora has just released her, what is this, second, third album? What do we call it?
Well, in my heart it's the third,
Yeah.
but in the world it's the second.
Yeah. The third step, though.
Yes.
A different kind of human, step 2. How would you say that it relates to infections of a different kind?
Well, they are very connected, both of them. But when, I have a lot of songs lying around, and when I looked at what I had, I knew it became more and more clear that they belong to two different sides of one emotional process. And the perspective is very different from step 1 to step 2. The perspective is bigger now than it was, and also it's quite easy if you just look at the symbolic on the covers.
So step 1 was like
in.
Yep.
And
Step 2 is like this.
Is out.
Yeah.
So it's
not jazz hands, but like pushing.
Not jazz hands. Please, no. No. But yes, it's more about what you can do. For what can you do for them or for the world.
Yeah, because last time you said there was a kind of not anger, but a kind of need to change that was pushing step 2.
Yes. Step 2 is way more political, while step 1 is more emotional. But also it's only emotional politics I am involved with. The big kind of things that I feel like is our right, like love or, having a healthy earth and, all of those things, those human rights that we should fight for. But it's way more political and way more angry. Like it's very big and very loud. I want people to feel, pumped up by it. I want them to feel ready for battle.
Yeah, the word empowering has been used a lot. I mean, what can you tell us about kind of the individual groups that you're trying to empower on this record?
I'm trying to empower everyone. I've always been a big supporter of people like me, like the outsiders and the underdogs and the introverts. And in many societies, it's the women, and some the men, and the children, the animals. Gay people, it can change from place to place who's being suppressed. So I've always been a big fighter for them, for us, because that's very important. And now it's kind of expanded. Now I'm seeing more and more how people that look like they belong, they also feel like they don't belong, sometimes. So it's very hard to be. It's very hard to be a human, and I want to empower everyone, and just remind us, and myself, that we have a lot to offer. There's no use in feeling helpless or feeling small, because you can really offer the world a lot, and if everyone knew that, the world could be very wonderful, I think.
Yeah. Would you say it's more of a protest record or more sort of calling for empathy for these kind of subjects?
It is, I guess, it is kind of both. Some of the songs are more battle ready in the spirit than others. But I think in general, mostly it's about calling for empathy, because we are empathic humans. I believe that in our core we are meant to be, empathic and nice. That's what we are, and I think if you just remind people of it, they will remember.
And we're filming this during Pride Month, and you've always been quite outspoken in calling for gay rights. I was just wondering, have you noticed much backlash when you do so?
Yeah, a bit, but I don't mind, because sometimes you can't know, of course, but most of the time, when you're on the right side of history. When you're fighting for something that can't possibly be any harmful or any bad for the world. You know that we are fighting for something divine. And love is like, I don't know, I really believe in love, and I think we need a world where we are allowed to love, because love is the only thing we have that's not double-sided or impure. Love is the only thing we have that's just wonderful, and I would love for love to just spread. So it's very important for me to show my support, and as kind of not as I am today, but in my past I've been a part of a community myself. So it's important for me that you're allowed to.
And there's been a great response online to the track The River, and its message about kind of being more open with mental health and talking about it. So what can you tell us about the inspiration behind The River?
In Norway I am quite different, I feel sometimes, than the culture there, or the way the culture has been is quite, we're not so loosened up. We're quite uptight people, or like we're very lovely, but I think we find it hard to express emotions. It doesn't come that natural for us, and it's interesting to me to see, especially the bit older generations than myself, how tough it must have been, and many people become alcoholics. They fall into, darker paths because the world doesn't see them. And I've noticed how important it is because people don't like to take the first step. They need someone to kind of push you a bit, and then it becomes easier because you notice that you won't die if you cry a bit or if you talk about your emotions. So it's really important for me, this matter. And I think that, there's a reason why 73% of the suicides on the earth are men, which is, horrible. And when I read that, I was thinking, of course it makes sense, because the world isn't, men are also a victim of the macho culture in a way that we haven't focused on as much as, the way women are also a victim of the macho culture. It's kind of a common enemy we all have, because it's pushing us all way too far, and it's so important to, we have to focus more on this, the emotional education, and telling especially men and women, but especially men in this matter, that it's fine and it's important, and it's just so important to know that you're allowed. I think that's the biggest. So that's why I wrote The River, and that's why it sounds happy, because it's a very positive experience to talk about things, even how terrifying it may seem.
Yeah.
It's a very positive thing. And after you've cried, especially after I've cried, I feel very nice. It's a very positive thing.
And it seems to be a record kind of urging people to live outside of expectations of them. And like the seed kind of seems to be like saying that you don't need to necessarily fit in this capitalist ideology where money is everything.
No, you don't.
Is that difficult as an artist, like having to sell a product but then also not give a shit?
Yeah, it is. And I'm very bad at being smart with money. If people need something, it's very easy to just, which I think you should. You should just, because money is such a strange thing, because you need it to be able to do what you want. But then again, in some ways you don't, And I'm very happy that there is music platforms out there, I guess with commercial, but still where people can find it for free. And it's, it's a huge problem for me actually. I think a lot about tickets. I'm hoping to make my tickets for my shows as cheap as possible, because it shouldn't have anything to do with money. And often in this world, the people that don't have that much money. They're the ones that should, really come to the show.
And you're very dedicated. We've talked about this before. You're a very dedicated kind of fan. You call them the warriors and weirdos, right? Yeah. I mean, how would you describe that as a tribe?
Well, they asked me a long time ago, what do you call us? I thought it was important. I knew, from the beginning of my career that I would make, an album like Step 2, like this album. I knew that one day I would, but I had to begin with, the individual obstacles first, and then we could, expand, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I wanted to give people a place to belong where they could also emphasize their own worth as an individual and their own strength as an individual, but in a group of similar-minded people that wanted to, do something good. And it's all about being a warrior of light and warrior of love.
And have you found a kind of change in the tribe or a growth in the tribe since more of a spotlight's been shone on you by the Chemical Brothers putting you on the record and Billie Eilish being like, fuck yeah, Aurora, go on?
Well, yeah, I guess. I haven't really noticed. I guess, the shows are bigger. When I play my own concerts, there are more people standing in front of me, but it feels like the same people. It still feels very intimate, no matter how many people there are. And it still feels... No, I don't really notice the difference. Because I'm in a bubble, It's hard to see change when it's slowly happening day by day. It's like when we grow old, you don't notice it yourself.
I notice.
You do?
I feel it.
Yeah, the process of dying.
That's where I'm at today.
No, I don't really notice it.
I think I saw on Instagram that you met Billie Eilish recently.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. She
I
nice?
did. Yeah, very nice. And her brother also, very nice. And I met her mom and dad as well. Yeah, they were a nice family, very nice. She came to see our show at a festival in Australia. And then, she wanted to say hi.
But did you just say hi, or was there an opportunity to work together?
I think it's good for her to just do her own thing a bit more and really explore. But maybe one day. I don't think in the closest future. Maybe a time when we're both bored.
You ever bored?
No.
And there's been an awesome reaction to the latest Chemical Brothers album. What can you tell us about how they discovered you and you came to work together?
I don't actually know. Do you like my new shoes?
They're awesome. Those are good socks as well. Can you make sure the socks are on camera as well?
Ow. Yes.
They're very ravey socks. That's perfect for this question.
Yes. Chemical Brothers. I don't know. But I've always loved Chemical Brothers since I was like a sperm.
We were all sperm. Remember that.
Yes, you too, Cecil. But yes, I've loved them for a long time. I really love them. I really love the music. I love dancing to it. It's just, it has like a gumption in it.
Oh, gumption's a good word.
I know. So yeah, to see how excited I get when I talk. Yeah, but I love Chemical Brothers, and I just got a mail one beautiful day in 2017. And he said, "Hello, this is Tom from Chemical Brothers, and I like your music. I like you and your music and your words, and I would love for you to write something with us for our next album." And I remember, I don't really care much about who people are, because people are just people, but it was the only time I've ever had a feeling in my life, I think, because I don't really get starstruck either. But I was really excited, and I had to wait like a week because I wanted to pick the right words in my answer. I wanted to explain how happy I was, and so he really knew how much I wanted to be a part of their music. So I said, like, sorry for the late answer, but I had to wait a week to calm down a bit. But he understood. It was okay. And then I went to his house And I actually forgot to order a hotel one of the times I visited him, so I got to stay in their attic.
Nice attic?
Yeah, very nice, beautiful. And their daughter had a birthday, so I was kind of crashing the birthday party. And then I said, but it's okay, I will go out for a walk in the woods, you know, while you celebrate. And I was out for like 5 hours, and they got really worried. And there's no reception there, so they couldn't call me. So I think I made the birthday worse, because I was out in the forest alone in the night. It was really dark too. And then I just disappeared. And I came back with twigs in my hair. But it was really nice. They're so lovely. And he's a very passionate, lovely a producer and musicians. It was very nice. It was like improvising, and we just played around, and yeah, lovely. It was a very nice experience. And I think I'm gonna ask them to do something with me as well, if they want one day.
Speaking of which, will there be a step 3, or is that the end of the steps?
It's not the end of the steps. I can feel in my heart that my next album, which I'm already making, is not step 3. But it's not the last step, no.
So what can you tell us about what you're thinking about for the next record then?
For the next record, or the possible step 3?
For the next album before step 3.
Oh, well, I can't really speak about it without telling you too much.
Okay.
But it's a different perspective again, looking at things from a different angle, and they can look completely different. And you know, this album is all about changing the things we cannot accept in this world. The way that, you know, change what you want to change. And I can say that it's more about accepting the things we can change, the next album. And I knew I already have the title, which is hidden somewhere.
Oh, so it exists in the world.
It exists in the world. And so it's already, and it's very exciting. I think you'll love it. I'm very excited about it. It makes my life much easier when I'm done with an album and I release an album, that I can go straight to making the next one. I'm very thirsty in that way, that I make music all the time. So it's very fun, very fun.
And if a fan were to guess the name of the record, would there be a prize?
They would guess wrong. The prize is Death Penalty.
Death Penalty. Okay, so don't look too hard, guys. Take your time.
Or you may win like a sponge or something. One of them. It's like a roulette. You win and I turn the wheel and it's like, will he die or will he win a sponge? Very fun. You'll love it.
You'll love it. What kind of, like an Aurora branded sponge?
Yeah, it's used.
Wow.
By me.
That's worrying. Aurora, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.